are going to have baseball get underway here at Coors Field after a long rain delay. The Rockies and the Pirates. Starling Marte anxious to get things going for the Pirates. Game 2 of this series. Let's take a look at the Southwest Airlines starting lineup for Clint Hurdle's Pittsburgh Pirates. Pretty similar to last night's. Neil Walker will move into the number 2 spot, and Pedro Alvarez and Russell Martin will flip-flop. Garrett Jones will get the start at first base. Tabata again in right field, and Jordy Mercer moves from 2 to 8 in the lineup ahead of A.J. Burnett.
On the hill for the Rockies, Juan Nicasio, 6-6 overall. You see the earned run average roughed up the last couple of starts. 4 2/3 against this Pirate team just a week ago. Like to get a little revenge working tonight. What he'll take to the mound with him, pretty simple for him. It's a 3-pitch mix, 92-mile-an-hour fastball. He'll use that the majority of the time. The slider now all of a sudden a changeup. Getting much better and not afraid to use it in crucial situation, both right and left-handed batters.
So Juan ready to go against Starling Marte, who had quite a ball game last night, reaching base all 5 times with 4 singles and a walk. A very aggressive leadoff hitter. And the first pitch of the game misses for ball 1. Jack Corrigan from 850 KOA sitting in with George Frazier tonight as Drew Goodman is away. George, we've experienced a lot of things together. Our first rain delay.
Yeah, we have. I mean, you keep messing. We might have a second one before the night's over.
I hope not.
We might have a doubleheader of a rain delay tonight.
I hope not. Marte is an intriguing guy for the Pirates with the 2-1 count. As Clint Hurdle was telling the media today, he certainly doesn't fit the profile of a typical leadoff hitter, but he is a dynamic guy. At least he's been in the 2 series against the Rockies. They handle him there with a good grab by Michael Kadire. Tonight's defense brought to you by XL Energy. We bring the energy you need so you can live the life you want. Visit ResponsibleByNature.com to learn more. In addition to Kadire in the outfield, Corey Dickerson in left field tonight as they flank Dexter Fowler. Johnny Herrera will be the second baseman, and Willeen Rosario the battery mate for Juan Nicasio as he faces the switch hitter Neil Walker.
The last couple of starts, 12 runs, 8 1/3 for Juan. Getting that first out important here in this ballpark where he's pitched well. 3-1, 3.86 earned run average at Coors Field this year.
That really has been one of the more fascinating and maybe at times head scratching elements to this season, George. Rockies starters pitching better here than on the road.
I think more emphasis, more thought process of keeping the ball on the ground. To be honest with you, Jack, I think just here they overemphasize that and they do a good job of it.
He gets ahead at ball and 2 strikes on Walker. Keeping it on the ground. Tulo will gun it across for the second out.
A little different start to this ball game than last night with the Pirates getting 4 straight singles and not scoring. You don't see that often.
How about 7 of the first 10 reached and they hadn't scored a run?
Good defense, right? Proper planning.
Without a question.
The preparation off the charts.
2 quick outs here for Juan Nicasio, and now the all-star outfielder Andrew McCutchen. I like watching this guy play.
Well, he can really swing the bat quick to the spot, seems like every time, but not this time. Wrong guy.
And Nolan Arenado able to gobble up the ground ball, and on 9 pitches Juan Nicasio takes care of the top of the first. Rockies coming to bat. Fowler, and the Rockies lineup will try and see if they can fare better than they did against A.J. Burnett last weekend in Pittsburgh. Southwest Airlines Rockies starting lineup. Dexter in that leadoff spot. Corey Dickerson and lefty will hit second. Then that grouping of Tulowitzki, Kadire, Helton, and Rosario. Big night for Wallin last night. Nolan Arenado hitting seventh. Johnny Herrera getting the start tonight at second base. You give DJ LeMahieu a night off because the lefty's pitching tomorrow.
5 and 7, 128 in the innings, and I say that because he is an innings eater. He's missed a couple of starts to go on the disabled list for 3 weeks this season with the Pirates, but somebody that typically works deep into a lot of ball games. The 2.73 earned run average, a career low this time of the year for AJ. Take a peek at what he likes to offer the Rockies. When he faces clubs, you'll see fastball, curveball, changeup, majority fastball, 90 up to 93 miles an hour. 8 times in his career, he's thrown 170 or more innings.
He misses with the first two to Dexter, who had a hit and a walk and a couple of runs scored in the early offense for the Rockies as they scored all their runs in the first 3 innings.
He likes to live off the fastball, and it'll range anywhere from 90 to 95. His last start at Coors Field, May 15th, 2002, 6 2/3, 5 earned runs on 8 hits.
Talked about it last weekend in Pittsburgh. You get perspective at times as the 2-1 pitch misses to Fowler. His first win for A.J. Burnett against the Rockies was in the 2000 season.
Isn't that something? He's been around a long time. Pitched with a lot of winning ball clubs. 18 and 10 with the Yankees, 16 and 10 with the Pirates. The last 2 years he walked out.
Dexter has had the batting average drop on him, but he has continued to show a good eye at the plate. His walks are in the top 10 as we take a look at the Pirates defense, brought to you by XL Energy. Make the choices that fit your life. XL will provide you the energy to power it. Visit responsiblebynature.com to learn more. Great speed in that outfield with McCutchen anchoring it in center. Alvarez has had 21 errors on the season at third base. The veteran Russell Martin behind the plate. Corey Dickerson will take a first pitch strike.
I'm trying to figure out how you were going to pitch to Dickerson, and when the way they're going to pitch him, they want to have them cheated a little bit. But it appears not a lot of attention being paid to by the outfield of the Pirates. I got it.
Because I look out there and they're all just as straight away as they could be.
Yeah, I saw them wave back to the dugout. I don't think they're waving. I think they're trying to not teasing.
Rockies were aggressive on the bases last night, and Dexter looked like he was going to go, just able to get back.
And they did it against one of the better catchers, catch and throw guys, in Martin. This year he's thrown out 50%, 22 of 44.
And did it against a left-handed pitcher too, although Liriano was pretty deliberate to the plate. This is foul outside the bag at third off the bat of Corey Dickerson.
10 runs yesterday. The Rockies would like to duplicate it. Took them 6 games to score 10 prior to yesterday.
It's turned into a pleasant evening now. Temperature still in the mid to upper 70s. Good crowd on hand.
Great crowd on hand.
There goes Fowler, and it's a foul ball. Look at it, everybody.
0-2 count. It was a curveball down and in, and Dickerson not taking the chance on a called third strike. Swung at it with Fowler and a big jump.
George, when you would be home in Tulsa at times last summer, and Corey came up to the Drillers, what did you like about his development?
The way he played the game right. Played hard every single night, ran out balls that he knew people were going to catch and throw him out by a wide margin, but he played hard every night. Worked early on his defense, something that's gotten better in the outfield than what it was.
Had a great spring and did what you're supposed to do when you're back in the minors. Force the club to bring you up. Again, with Dexter bluffing, Burnett's going to try and keep him close. How would you characterize, where would you rank Burnett's move?
Yeah, average. I mean, it's just one of those guys that's going to change it up on you. He's going to throw over. He's going to step off. He's going to throw softly, throw hard. He's letting you know he knows you're over there. He's doing the best job he can to give Russell Martin an opportunity to throw you out. I mean, this is a guy that's a complete pitcher. 142 wins in his career and 128 losses.
Look out. Sam, you were ready for that, I could tell.
He was going to dive no matter what. Dive away from it. Sam follow that like just like a professional. Oh, you are. Sorry. I thought you did this all these years for free, Sam.
To second for one. The relay's not in time. If there is an Achilles heel for the Pirates in their efforts to get to the postseason, it'll be their defense.
No question about it. The left side of their defense between Mercer and Alvarez, 32 errors. They lead second in the National League to Milwaukee. As you look at them trying to turn this double play ball, Jody Mercer took an inside route when you had Dexter bearing down on the outside, and they couldn't complete it because of the hustle of Dickerson. Pittsburgh's 81 errors. Second to Milwaukee with 88. And who's third? Los Angeles with 81 also.
How about that?
Pitching and the big offense doing numbers for them.
This foul ball right
Timeout,
next
they're
door
firing
to
at
us.
us. That's 2 in a row. Dougie's gone.
Tulo in last night's ball game in the 10-1 win went 1 for 2 and walked a couple of times. Speaking of those Dodgers, they won again behind Zach Greinke 5-0. 1 ball and 1 strike now on Tulo. Here's some perspective for you, George. Well, we had the rain delay to when the Dodgers finished on June 21st. They were 30-42. They've gone 36-8.
Wow. Reminiscence of the '84 Tigers.
And they had the 35-5. This is hit towards Tabata, but he'll be very shy about the grandstand. I don't know that he could have gotten there anyway, but didn't look like he was real anxious to get close to it. 1-2.
Can't blame him. Wet grounds, you don't know what you're going to get over there. You may slide, come up hurt.
And just a little more perspective, if you ran that winning percentage out to a full season for the Dodgers, 132-30.
Most wins. Who was Seattle with 116?
116, I believe that's it. You're right.
And then they were knocked out in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah. This is Alvarez's play, and he can only go to first. They get the out on Tulowitzki as Dickerson moves into scoring position for Michael Kadire. Who wants tacos? Remember, if the Rockies score 7 or more runs during a game, you can go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 p.m. and get your Rockies tacos special. Well, Michael Kadire delivered a couple of RBI hits last night. He's got Dickerson in scoring position here.
Yeah, the opposition, lowest batting average against a pitcher with runners in scoring position. A.J. Burnett leads baseball. 162 average. It's making pitches when you need to.
Now this Pirates team comes in with a collective ERA of 3.13.
And to counter that, Kadire's hitting 327. with runners in scoring position and 2 outs.
Pitches a strike, and Burnett wasn't even going to worry about Corey Dickerson, so Corey gets his first big league stolen base into third.
Well, this is all scouting report here. He doesn't pay a lot of attention to you with 2 outs. He's going to go right at the hitter, as he did on Kadire, to make it an 0-2 count. Take advantage, get to third. You never know a wild pitch, and there are a number of things get you home.
Just the Kadire hustle on a ball that might be chopped on the infield. And I think Russell Martin was not real happy. I mean, as you said, George, it's probably, you get the scouting report and you see that, but it's still that idea of,
you got to think about it.
Yeah.
Look back there once or twice for me anyway, right?
Because now you get the
one little stare and go. And he's long to home plate, meaning he has a long front side with his leg, which gives you time as a runner to get there a little quicker.
And with their infield spread out, I mean, Corey got out to a good sized lead to begin with. Count holds at 2 strikes on Kadire. '66 RBIs on the season for Michael. At 58 a year ago when he missed virtually 2.5 months of the season. Swing and a miss, got him with an off-speed breaking ball, and the Rockies don't score. No score after the first inning of play. Rockies got a runner to third, but A.J. Burnett continues to be a tough customer to the Rockies. He's doing that to a lot of National League clubs. And sometimes you'd appreciate it, I'm sure, George. You get those matchups like he had, runner in scoring position, but he's had good numbers against Michael Kadire.
Really good numbers. Kadire had faced him 28 times. And struck out 9 times. So a third of the times he'd punch Kadire out, a very good contact hitter.
Meanwhile, Juan Nicasio worked a quick 1-2-3 top of the first, 9 pitches to get the fly ball and a couple of ground balls. And a left-handed hitting, slugging third baseman Pedro Alvarez leads off the Pittsburgh second.
Last night they kept everything away from Alvarez for a good reason. The National League home run leaders. He is at the top, tied with Goldschmidt with Arizona, who hit his 27th today. Alvarez with 27, Cargo at 26, Dominic Brown and Jay Bruce in that order.
The Phillies had waited a while for Dominic Brown to start to show the potential into reality. There's a strike to make the count 2-1 on Alvarez. This is a routine fly ball for Dexter Fowler. And that's the first out here in the second. Don't forget this season, Rockies fans, we want to answer your questions on air during Toyota Talk. So text Toyota followed by your question to 720-720. Watch as your questions are answered during the fifth inning of every one of our games. Noticing anything different here in the early going with Nicasio, George?
Strike one. And he's down in the zone. Just watching how he operates. He's taking the ball in. He's taking the ball away.
He falls behind 2-0 here to Russell Martin.
That's what Martin does. It's not so much the long ball. It's the leadership. It's the at-bat. It's grinding at-bats out. Martin on the year, 10 home runs, 42 RBIs, hitting .251 with 9 stolen bases.
I don't know that many people beyond the hardcore baseball community would have thought much about the Pirates acquiring Martin in the offseason, but he's made a significant difference.
Well, McHenry, the former Rocky, very good backup. But this man had been into the playoffs 5 different times. And I think Clint Hurdle in the front office wanted that leadership on the ball club of a man that had towed it up in late October.
On the check swing, the count runs full. This Pirates team using the long ball in their pitching. Solid starting pitching and very good bullpen work to get to the level they're at. And Martin's going to have the Pirates' first hit, a solid single to left field. First hit of the ball game. Rockies had a walk, and now Nicasio will work from the stretch. Garrett Jones, who we did not see last night. The Pirates really do a lot of platooning. I think you have to tip your hat to Clint Hurdle in that regard. He's been able to mix and match with different guys, Jones and Gabby Sanchez at first base, to get good production overall.
You keep people involved that way when you platoon and get good production from multiple people at different positions. Jones loves Coors Field. 11 games, 405 average with 4 home runs and 13 RBIs.
He's knocked out 10 homers this year. He gets ahead in the count. Well, you sit there and you look at the combination. Sanchez has hit 7 homers and knocked in 31, so they're looking at 17
bad, huh?
homers and 70 plus RBIs out of their first base spot.
Pretty good job of doing things. Left-right combination. Not only that, Jones is a guy you can give a day off and put him in right field.
Well, for the second straight hitter, Nicasio falls behind, 2 balls and no strikes.
Don't fall asleep either with Russell Martin at first base. Mentioned 9 stolen bases.
Two and one now on Garrett Jones. This is a big stretch for the Pirates. This game and then one more here tomorrow afternoon, and after an off day they play 3 games with their closest pursuers in the Central Division, the St. Louis Cardinals. Come home for 3 games with the Diamondbacks, and then turn right around and go out and play 7 more on the road.
Very important this ball game. Reason why: the Cubs lead the Cardinals 6-4. That ball game's in the 9th inning right now, so it only adds a little bit more to it. Miami ahead of Atlanta, trying to bust that streak 1-0. That ball game's in the 9th.
Atlanta with an almost ridiculous 14-game winning streak.
15.5 up in the division.
Martin bluffs like he's going. This ball will make the chairs, and it's 2-2 on Garrett Jones.
What a great crowd. I just looked up the left field line. The upper deck down the left field line above the Pirates is completely full.
Yeah, this is going to be a 40+ crowd tonight.
Great to see.
And they love these Saturday night starts. I don't think they want the hour 50-minute rain delay, but Saturday night starts have been very good. This will be handled by Tulo. He took a peek over his shoulder to see where Dexter Fowler was, but had enough time to cruise out there and make the catch for the second out.
Exactly right, Jack. When he looked back, I think he thought it was going to be a little bit deeper than what it was. The flag's pretty quiet at this point. Looked back to see where Dexter was and backpedaled and made the play look easy.
Well, they got tangled up in New York earlier in the week, and so I think wise on Troy's part to make sure he had plenty of space.
Hey, you're in a different type of ballpark now, so Dexter's going to play a little bit deeper than what he would be in New York, where the ball doesn't carry a whole lot.
Jose Tabata, he'll first pitch swing and get hit number 2 in the inning as Martin digs his way to third. Now, one thing about Jose Tabata and Starling Marte, the two corner outfielders for the Pirates, if you throw anything close to what they like on a first pitch, they're hacking.
Oh, absolutely they are. And again, that's kind of the Ted Williams theory, the Larry Walker theory, swing first pitch offering on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. You can see that pitch down and in, but a very good job of hitting by Tabata as he took that ball right back up the middle for a base hit. First and third. Jody Mercer, who hit second last night, hitting 8th in the lineup today.
Shortstop out of Oklahoma State. And after a moment's thought, the crew chief Fielding Culbreth said strike one on that fastball right at the bottom edge of the Ford strike zone. Tabata can run. Bouncing ball toward short. And that'll take care of things. So the singles do no damage for Nicasio. 2 zeros on the scoreboard for Juan. Rockies ready to hit again. Minute rain delay. Tonight's sideline report brought to you by the Honey Smoked Fish Company, a ready-to-eat, energizing superfood you can add to any dish that's healthy and delicious. to our man somewhere in the ballpark, Mark Stout.
Yep, out in the outfield here, Jack. Hey, the fourth manager in Rockies history is here in the park. He now skippers the Pirates, of course, Clint Hurdle. I asked him what things come to mind when he comes back to Coors Field.
My first thought's Kelly McGregor. Yeah, my first thought's Kelly McGregor. Since I left, the second thought is the flag flying, the 2007 National League Championship flag. And then the third thought is a whole bunch of people here that we love, that loved on us, that took care of my wife Carla, my children.
So there you go, the thoughts of Clint Hurdle. Game 2 of this series back in town here in Colorado, guys.
Always good to visit with Clint. Get a little book discussion in his office talking about.
Imagine that.
Yeah, what a voracious reader he is.
To put it in perspective a little bit, Jack, I had a little research done by Doug. Imagine that.
No, you did it. Just you know.
Well,
okay.
I'll take credit. There's been 6,163 players who have at least one win in their big league career. One. There's 867 pitchers that have exactly just one. Almost double the amount, or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
There's 288 that's won 140 ball games out of that 6,000. He's one of those guys.
That's a pretty good ratio.
There's only 12 pitchers active right now that have 12 wins. AJ being one of those.
Fair ball. Just inside the line, and with the ricochet, that's going to be double number 581. Todd Helton leads off the second with a two-bagger. Just beyond Jones' reach and just inside the chalk.
Again, this is one of those pitches that Todd could drop the hammer on. It's a curveball out of the hand, trying to throw it to the back foot. See Todd's rotation, all of his legs, everything basically gone. That was all hand swing for Todd Helton. He drove it right by Jones, just inside that fair foul pole. And then now all of a sudden you have Tabitha coming, and here's the doubles list. Todd Helton, 581, just 2 behind Robin Yount, Hall of Famer.
Lean Rosario had a big night last night. Didn't want to swing, but he's going to get the runner to third as he grounds out to Alvarez. Alert base running by Todd Helton gets him 90 feet closer.
Another young player coming to the plate, and Nolan Arenado, that has done a great job the last couple of days, particularly yesterday in the ball game against the Pirates. He had a single, a double, a single, an RBI, and he walked. Last night he got after it. Ball right down the line, shot into left field, came up later, drove a ball into the gap in left center field. That drove in Todd Helton, and then one more over the head of Alvarez in the left field.
Pirates bring the infield in halfway. We'll show him an early fastball, does Burnett, but you almost have to figure he's going to try and get him with something downstairs. Wouldn't you approach it that way, George?
Take it down and away from him. Try to get the ball on the ground with your infield in.
But he falls behind, does Burnett, 2-0.
Burnett's one of those cool customers on the mound. He just doesn't get very excited when falling behind 2-0. Refocus, try to make the pitch he needs to make.
Had a good swing at that fastball. 2 balls and a strike on Nolan. The 3 hits last night. The batting average just a tick below 260 now. And with his desire to be good, you just have a sense that things are just going to improve with the experience that he's gaining this year. Does Jones have a play on it? No.
He reminds me somewhat of a young Matt Holliday, who struggled when he first came up, 15 to 20 home runs, drove in 55, 60 runs. But his desire to be an all-star, his desire to win championships was glaring. And I think Nolan's in that same category as a Matt Holliday.
A little bit of a front foot hitter, but nothing wrong with that. We've seen in power. This will not get the run home. Alvarez across the diamond for the second out, and it was a breaking ball that Burnett uses, and that's now too many. Has gotten that with a runner at third. Needs to get one more. Johnny Herrera will try and spoil that. With the lefty Jeff Locke pitching tomorrow, and knowing that he wanted to give DJ LeMahieu one of these games off to keep Johnny Herrera's bat hot, because Herrera has been hitting very well. Tonight was the night for DJ to sit and give the Bean a chance to be productive.
Well, you don't lose anything defensively with Johnny in the lineup, and now all of a sudden offensively it's been very good. A line drive hitter, a guy that could bunt, hit and run, do a lot of things down at the bottom, carry the batting order over, which 8-hole hitters main priority may be.
And he does, as he drives it by Garrett Jones. That scores Todd Helton, and the Rockies take a 1-0 lead. Johnny Herrera getting his 14th RBI of the season.
Only thing I looked to notice is where Jones was playing with 2 outs, and it appeared that he was not very close. In other words, he was only a couple of steps behind the bag versus being deeper. With 2 outs, a lot of first basemen are 8 to 10, even 15 feet behind the bag to allow you to have more range to get to that baseball. I'm glad he didn't, and I'm glad for Johnny and the Rockies. 1-0.
You clear out the pitcher's spot as well on Nicasio, hitting just a $160, 4 for 25. A wry smile after that hack. Nothing Rockies as they get a run off A.J. Burnett and take the early lead. Ironically, a Helton double. They had a Helton double on the weekend in Pittsburgh, and he gets another one here. He scores the first run. And that takes care of the Rockies' second as Burnett gets his second strikeout. But thanks to Johnny Herrera, the Rockies have the lead. Mustang, all legend, zero compromise, Ford Mustang. Go further. By Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. Rockies with a 1-0 lead as we move into the third inning, and we're always glad to have baseball in the area on an interesting night weather-wise here in the Metro Denver area. And next week is going to be a huge week here in Denver for the Solheim Cup as it comes to Colorado National Golf Club. And Tom Farrell, the director of golf, joins us here. And Tom, your course is just outstanding. It's just a wonderful facility. You guys have to be all keyed up about hosting the Solheim.
We're really excited. We really are. And it's Colorado Golf Club down in Parker. And we've been working on this for about 4 years now.
It takes time.
It does take time, and the grandstands are going up, and the people are coming in, and the tents are all there, and we're ready to go. We're expecting about 125,000 people.
So for the fans who don't know as much about the Solheim Cup, it is a every other year contest of some of the best lady golfers, women golfers on both sides of the Atlantic.
It's essentially the Ryder Cup of women's golf. You have Europe versus the U.S. You have 12-person teams, and it's really a fabulous competition. It's match play, team competition the first 2 days, singles competition the final day. Really exciting. Nothing like a polite golf tournament. It's really exciting to see.
Yeah, you can get very nationalistic, that's for sure. So in reality, we're talking, like as you said, the Ryder Cup or the President's Cup, which I know is going to be contested later on this year. Same kind of atmosphere you're hoping to get?
Oh, it very much is. We've got a huge grandstand built around the first tee, and there'll be people singing, chanting, and they'll be there an hour before the first tee time, which is at 7:30 on Friday morning. So it's, people are dressed up in crazy costumes, and it's an amazing experience.
So what happens 4 years ago to get all this started?
Well, 4 years ago, we went through an entire bid process, and the city of Denver, the Douglas County, the town of Parker, all helped us out very much. And, we've had great support. We got the call in July of 2009, and that was a very exciting day. And, you start to believe it'll never get here, and here it is.
And it's right on top of you. And what it means economically to the city of Parker. I mean, that's got to be huge.
We're thinking around $25 to $30 million for the region. We have 6,000 European visitors coming into town.
Wow.
Well, let me ask you this, because we had the weather here tonight, Tom. I mean, George and I watching the PGA, and they're going through that up in Rochester. How has the golf course handled the weather around here over the last couple of days?
It's amazing. The golf course drains very well, and it's greener than we might expect at this time of year. It looks beautiful. It's not playing soft at all. It's firm and fast in the way we want it to be. We'd like to see the storms hold off on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but we're prepared for whatever happens.
Well, a called strike 3 for Juan Nicasio against Marte. He'll certainly like that, and the crowd can react just like it was Stacey Lewis winning a hole, right?
How great was that British Open victory that she had?
That was wonderful. I'm sure it just adds to it. I mean, as this next level of young Americans headed up by Stacey Lewis will just add to the excitement, I would think, this week.
Well, we have 5 rookies on the team, and so there are a lot of good young players that are going to be on display at Colorado Golf Club this week. Everyone needs to go to solheimcup.com. Tickets are still available, but they're going fast, and it's a fabulous experience. The course is beautiful. There are 100-mile views of the Rockies out there. It's going to be like taking a great hike in Colorado and seeing world-class team golf at the same time. Beyond
the actual match competition on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, are there opportunities for fans? Are there going to be practice rounds or action that they could go watch during the earlier part of the week?
Yeah, there are. The gates open Tuesday. Practice rounds are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday is military day. All active military and retired military get in for free. First 3,000 fans will get American flags, and the opening ceremonies are at 5 o'clock that afternoon. So it's a big deal. It's like the Olympics.
It is a wonderful opportunity, an international event like this for the Denver area. You can't beat it.
Who manages the course? Does the LPGA, does the Solheim Cup, do they take it over and tell you how they want it to play, the placement of the pins, or is that something you get to do?
It's a really interesting question, and it's a team. It's a team effort. The LPGA has worked with Tony Hartsock, our superintendent, and Graham Cliff, our head professional, and really put together the setup and the way the course is going to play. We expect it to be fast, firm, and fun to watch.
Fun to watch is what I like to hear.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, Tom. All the best. Hopefully you have great weather and great competition.
Thank you very much. Thank you guys for having us. Colorado Golf Club.
The bottom half of this third inning, Juan Nicasio certainly pitching well so far. Rockies will look to add to their lead, and Dexter Fowler will start things off with a base hit. You just know, because he is such a streaky player, but streak doesn't say it right, because when Dexter gets hot, he gets hot for a long period of time, and unfortunately when he has down spells, it's a tough time for him to get out of it.
It is a very difficult time. I was excited the other day when he tried to lay the bunt down yesterday, thinking that's the way you try to get out. Utilize your speed any way you can. He comes up with a walk, now a base hit.
Scored 2 runs last night. Corey Dickerson will look at strike one. Corey, fielder's choice, and eventually got to third base in the first inning. Burnett, being A.J. Burnett, able to strike out Michael Kadire and keep the Rockies off the board, but Johnny Herrera knocked in a run in the second.
Dickerson's hit 348 in his last 8 ball games, 8 for 23. He's a guy that can handle the bat to the opposite field, and defensively, the way they have their infield set up now, as you can see, it looks like everything's going to be a pull, so they're leaving this left side open for him, and he has that ability to shoot it through that left side and put Dexter in motion.
And we've seen a number of hits already from Corey in that regard.
Damon Iannelli, the scout that signed him, has told me numerous times this kid can hit. He can hit to all fields. He's starting to learn to hit with power to all fields. And the thing that stuck out in his mind about Dickerson is he played hard every day. He wasn't scared to ask questions to get better. And if you told him what he needed to work on, he worked on it. Defense was the #1 thing coming out of Tulsa he needed to work on, and he's done that.
There's a wonderful article in the latest issue of Rockies magazine about Corey. He falls behind a ball and 2 strikes right now. It's written by Corey's mom about him, and she made the comment that so many moms make when they're young guys, you know, and Corey was about 9 or 10, and he said, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a major league ball player. And
he's getting to live that dream.
Yeah, the dream has happened. Fowler goes. The throw to second is not in time and off the glove of Mercer.
Not handled by Mercer, but a low throw by Martin. There's 2 stolen bases tonight, 22 for 46 now. The Rockies have done this twice to him now. That throw low, or they may have had a shot at Dexter.
And did it to him twice last night in the early going. You see Mercer getting way ahead of the bag to try and grab the ball and slap the tag, but couldn't handle it.
I liked what I saw out of Dexter Fowler. He slapped that glove going into second base, trying to make it look like contact, but if he catches the baseball, you have the ability to kick it out.
And he'll be able to move to third. Mercer's throw to first just in time. Nice play by Jordy Mercer. I thought that was going to be an infield hit.
Particularly of where he came from. With a runner on second, you're playing it behind him about 7-8 feet behind the runner at second. See Mercer back here. The ball's tapped. He comes in very quickly, side to the bow, and it takes the baseball barehanded. Nice throw to first base. Come in, you see it one more time. One continual motion of grabbing the baseball.
But the Rockies do get that runner to third with 1 out. They had Todd Helton there with 1 out, and eventually on a 2-out single he came home thanks to Johnny Herrera. Troy grounded out to third his first time up. Pirates have the infield all the way in here because it's a much faster runner at third base. Ball 1 to Troy. They were about halfway with 1 out with Todd Helton because they felt they'd have time to make a play at the plate.
You get to quicker runners, you've got to shorten things up, that's for sure.
The 1-0. Did he hold up? No, says Field and Culbreth. 1 ball, 1 strike. Troy has had very good success in his career against the Pirates, both here and in Pittsburgh. Hit a home run in Pittsburgh last weekend. Burnett gets ahead of ball and 2 strikes. The numbers that you can see, it's actually the best against the Pirates among the active players who have been around the block a few times. Well, J.J. Hardy has really developed into a hitter, hasn't he?
Keeps on, doesn't he? The home runs continue.
Hit number 20 last night for the Orioles in a win over the Giants. Did he go too far? He did. Down at first base, Bill Welke said Tulowitzki went after that curveball, and that's strike 3.
Many times from that overhead view, we've showed you whether he goes or not goes. And on a Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo, watch the hands. That's the key. It almost appears, you know, umpires are looking right up this line to see if they cross it when they come through, and it appeared that Tulowitzki does.
Burnett gets a big strikeout. He struck out Michael Kadire to end the first inning. He gets Kadire again here. Gets ahead, 1 strike.
MLB.com at bat is celebrating 5 years as your #1 mobile app for live baseball. Available for the iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At Bat delivers Rockies baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, highlights, and a whole lot more.
Strike 2 called as the fastball catches the outside edge. This is what Burnett does. George talked about it earlier in the telecast. A 160 batting average and lower than that right now with runners in scoring position. Strike 3 call. How about that? Back-to-back punch-outs for Burnett, and the Rockies can't score. They lead 1-0 after 3 here at Coors Field.
Lead over the Pirates. Let's get you the Coors Light cold hard fact for this game, and it's about the Pirates. They're having a great season. This is pretty cool. They have a winning record against 15 of the 18 teams they have played. The only 3 that have a record better against the Pirates, you're looking at the Braves, the A's, and also on that list another leader that I forgot, but the Dodgers. The Dodgers actually swept them when they got hot in Pittsburgh. 2 of those are leaders. The A's, of course, are in second and in contention in the American League, guys.
Indeed, that's been what the Pirates have done all year long. They have played well at home. They're above 500 on the road. And as Mark's cold hard facts from Coors told you,
41 wins at home, the most in baseball.
They're doing it against everybody.
They're 8-8 versus the West. 12-5 in interleague.
Grounder to third for McCutchen and a 1-2-3 first for Nicasio. Juan has allowed a couple of hits, singles in the second inning. 1-2-3 first and third. Gets ahead of McCutchen. McCutchen, you know he's coming with those shoes.
You know, I saw those last night. He also has that gold shin guard. I mean, he is all in on the Pirates. And Jack, I go back to the 78 when they had the We Are Family in 79, when that group was all there and the crowd was backing it. I mean, I'm happy for the city of Pittsburgh that they're drawing the way they are.
Going into last night's game, and you and Drew might have talked about it in the broadcast last night. I mean, you've got to go back to the NL Eastern Division winning 72 team to equal the start this Pirates club has had.
Last time they were in the playoffs in '92, Barry Bonds was a kid on that ball club. Well, Worth has been hot in Washington. He's hit .394 since July 1st. McCutchen .370. It has been as hot.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The count now on McCutchen leading off here in the 4th. Ocasio has thrown 49 pitches to this point. Got him.
That ball popped out.
It popped out. Just got a piece of it, and Rosario couldn't quite secure it.
I don't know if it hit off the mask or the glove. It sounded like glove to begin with, but it was a jaw pop. We got him right square. Went right off the end of the glove. They see Rosario reach out to try to get it. And catching foul tips like that is just luck. Pure luck.
And that's ball 4, so McCutchen is aboard to lead off this Pirate fourth.
It's not only the power, the ability to get RBIs, but it's also the ability to steal a base. 24 on the season.
Been caught 6 times. Pedro Alvarez now. Flied out to Dexter Fowler in center field in the 2nd inning. Tied for the National League lead with homers. Speaking of home runs, how about Chris Davis of the Orioles, who the Rockies are going to see next weekend? Ball 1 to Alvarez.
It's like he's got another league he joined.
Well, it didn't get the Orioles a win today. The Giants won 3-2, but Davis hit his 42nd home run.
How many RBIs now? 108, 109?
109.
Isn't that something? 109 RBIs.
Fastball not close. 2 balls and no strikes. Juan looking like he's fighting himself a little bit, George. Good to see Willeen going out there.
4th inning. You're in that deal. You got a 1-0 lead. You have a leadoff walk. Now you start to press a little bit, try to throw a little bit harder. It ends up costing you, and then you get behind and counts. And this part of the order is not where you can do that. And Nicasio is one of those guys that wants to be so good so much that sometimes it overtakes his ability to throw a strike.
And he puts Alvarez in a real good position at 2-0. Besides those 42 home runs in the American League, Miguel Cabrera hit number 35 today in a Detroit win over the Yankees. Fouled into the glove of Rosario there. Looked like Juan took just a little off a fastball. 2 balls and a strike. Raised in New York City and then college ball at Vanderbilt for this guy at the plate. And this is hit pretty well to right field, but playable. And Michael Kadire will make the catch, and back to first goes Andrew McCutchen.
If you don't have anything to do February 5th through the 9th, I'd love for you to join me, Jeff Houston, Drew Goodman, and the rest of us that come down to fantasy camp. This group of people came today. Part of that is they get to go out and they get to play at Coors Field. They played at 9 o'clock this morning. Breakfast served 8 to 9. This is a fun time. We had 52 campers last year. The year before we had 98. We'd love for you to join us. We have not had a confirmation, but guys have called and asked if they could be a part of it, from Josh Fogg to Kevin Ritz to Jason Jennings. So those guys coach you. You have a lot of fun. You have a lot of great food, and it's at Salt River Field. And this whole group of people, it's been a lot of fun to be around. It was fun to see them early this morning, spend some time with them. So February 5th through the 9th, make sure you come down and join us for the fantasy camp. Have a pretty good time. I run the Kangaroo Court part. I will get in your wallet.
Uh-oh.
We had a guy a couple of years ago throwing 85, 86.
At fantasy
with a nasty
camp?
Slider, and I go, this isn't a tryout camp.
No kidding.
And Richie Dower, the longtime third base coach, now managing for San Antonio, pitched him every game. He had 5 complete games, and they won the championship.
Why am I not surprised?
Richie goes,
Yeah.
you got all winter to get healthy.
Russell Martin has one of the 2 Pirate hits. He got to third base in the second inning, but stranded there. Been to a few fantasy camps.
They're fun.
Oh,
It's
they
a
are.
really good
They
time.
are. Keeping an eye on McCutchen. 1 ball, 1 strike now. I thought you raised a good point a moment ago, George, about Juan Nicasio. I mean, he doesn't show too much emotion, but he is really wound about trying to be successful.
Well, he wants to live up to the headlines, to the scouting reports. Rosario thought that he had gone on to second base, and then he went after the baseball after it squirted away from him.
Yeah, that was a break for the Rockies. McCutchen couldn't see where it was, so he stopped, and as George is pointing out, you could see Willeen there. He just assumed McCutchen went. So let's see if the Rockies can take advantage of that. Try and turn 2. Juan thought he had a strike there, but he falls behind 3-1. Rockies have turned 112 double plays on the year. 3-1, a breaking ball in for a called strike 2.
Backup sliders work wonders.
Yep, sometimes you're
not anticipating.
Mistakes, yeah.
You miss where it's going, and you're waiting on it to break to that outside corner, and it doesn't. All that on the Mike Shaw Subaru Super Bowl. Be a good location to look at the pitch.
McCutchen, you figure he'll be going. He does. And it's hit into the alley. And with McCutchen running at his speed, he's going to score. Throw to the plate is late, and the Pirates have tied the game.
Now, this is the kind of baseball that the Pirates play. You give them an inch, they're going to try to take a mile. The leadoff walk, and then the 3-2 count on the pitch to Russell Martin into right center field. Coming right out of the hand on a Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo elevated fastball, about belt hijack, that he got out over the plate and allowed him to use the strength to right center field, and Dexter couldn't outrun the baseball. The throw coming back in, you see it to Herrera offline at home plate, and Nicasio disappointed right now on what's going on the mound. He didn't make the pitch he needed to make.
You talked about it at the beginning of our telecast, George, that when he had his issues in the last start against the Pirates, got some pitches elevated, and a Pirates team whose offensive numbers aren't necessarily overwhelming on paper, but take advantage, as you said, and that's why they're successful.
That's exactly why they're successful.
Denier will grab this shot off the bat of Garrett Jones, but it's deep enough to get Martin to third.
I want to remind you about Faith Day tomorrow, presented by Grand Canyon University. All fans are invited to stay for a post-game concert by David Crowder. Make sure you get your tickets for that ball game versus the Pirates. Rockies.com or 303 Rockies for ticket information.
Well, A.J. Burnett a couple of times in this ball game, multiple times in this game, has had that runner at third base, and he's been able to keep him there all but one time. And now that's the assignment for Nicasio. Keep Martin from scoring the go-ahead run. Tabata, first pitch swinging, singled back in the second inning. Hits are even at 3, and we're tied at 1 here in the fourth.
The Pirates 1 for 2 with runners in scoring position. The Rockies 1 for 7.
But this should get him out of the inning, and it does, as Nicasio is touched for only the 1 run. And the Rockies and Buccos are tied here in the fourth. Stick around afterwards for Rockies Weekly. This week, the Root Sports crew heads to Cooperstown. We'll go inside the Baseball Hall of Fame, show you some of its most treasured artifacts. Also, we catch up with Eric Young Jr. and show you the best plays and moments from the week. Don't miss Rockies Weekly tomorrow after the ball game. Rockies and Pirates deadlocked now at 1 as Pittsburgh gets the RBI double from Russell Martin. Todd Helton doubled and scored the Rockies run in the second. AJ Burnett has allowed singles to Herrera that knocked in Helton and Dexter Fowler. He's also walked Fowler. Those are the 4 base runners so far. That's back to the backstop. Saw AJ in the Pirates clubhouse this afternoon before the game. He has a fair amount of body art.
Yes, he does. And has had it for quite a while. He and Matt Latos maybe
playable for the left fielder Marte to take care of Todd Helton. Yeah, I don't know if, I mean, of course, Ryan Roberts, the former Diamondback.
Yeah, and like Jim Miller.
Yeah, they were the leaders, but I agree with you. Latos and Burnett have more than a couple of tats. Willeen Rosario grounded out to third his first time up.
Second in the National League now, home runs by a catcher. McCann was 17, Rosario 16, Lucroy 16. Gaddis, who has hit a few DHing, also with 15, and now playing left field. But since June 15th, he's been the hottest hitter at 329.
That's all catchers, both leagues. I saw Joe Mauer on that list. Of course, you know Tavis would have to have Joe Mauer on the list.
Oh, no question. Minnesota Twin action working.
2 balls and a strike now on Willeen. AJ Burnett, he's an interesting guy, George. I mean, there's nothing that jumps out at you. He almost just he's got good stuff. I'm not disputing that,
right.
But I mean, there's nothing that you go, oh wow, or
Yeah,
tough guy,
though.
He's just a tough guy. I mean, you're in for a grind against him.
Yeah, that was the word I was just going to say. He grinds away, and you got to be able to stay with that.
Yeah, and the appearance on the mound tells you that's exactly what he's doing. He's going to grind on you.
That'll be a base hit for Willeen through the hole on the left side. Rockies get hit number 4. See what they can do with one out here in the 4th.
Coming right out of the hand, trying to throw a 3-1 circle changeup to get out front, a little more velocity or firmness on the pitch. And Rosario with a base hit right past Alvarez at third base. And a nice job by him. I mean, this is a really good job of hitting just to continue on exactly what he's been doing all along.
Batting average up to 279 for Rosario. Nolan Arenado grounded out to third, his first time up. And Mercer handles the short hop to get the second out, but Rosario moves into scoring position.
Twice he's made nice plays coming in on baseballs, this time on Arenado. Previously he did it to Dickerson on a slow roller.
You know, last time against Herrera, Johnny got the base hit with first base open. Will the Pirates walk him?
Yep, sure will. Clint goes, you know what? You're not going to get me twice.
Doug Marino just giving us the note. Johnny now 4 for 4 against A.J. Burnett. Just one more factor in the decision by the Pirates here.
Yeah, pretty good reason not to do something, huh?
Juan Nicasio, who has a couple of RBIs on the season, will try and help himself.
By the way, Eddie Butler recently moved to Tulsa, went 5 innings, 58 pitches, 43 strikes. He struck out 6, gave up 2 hits, second straight shutout without a walk for Eddie Butler.
Wells Fargo customers, get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. You were right though, George, about Butler. I was doing it at the same time you were, not knowing that we were both doing the same thing, looking at his line tonight from Tulsa. And I love the description about Eddie Butler as Nicasio takes a strike. The great contradiction that scouts like, he's easy hard.
Yeah, you're not kidding. And it's like, you know, a bowling ball falling off the end of a table too. A lot of ground ball outs when he doesn't have the swing and misses. An improved slider. The changeup is coming quickly. Another high draft pick, Jonathan Gray, the 3rd pick in the draft. Another shutout at Modesto the other day. Struck out 7, 2 hits in 5 innings.
He's allowed 1 run in 10 innings of pitching at high A with 14 punch outs. And the other thing I like, George, just the 1 walk.
Yeah, he's not walking people. He's throwing strikes. Dale Murphy or Daniel Murphy moved up from Asheville as a catcher. 4 for 8 in these first 2 games in Tulsa.
Got him on a breaking ball, and the Rockies not able to regain the lead. We're tied at 1 after 4 here on the Rockies Radio Network.
Field. Let's get. And that question is about Clint Hurdle. So Clint Hurdle has 755 career wins coming into tonight, and he got those wins with the Rockies and with the Pirates, 2 NL teams. There are 2 active managers that have more wins than Clint Hurdle, and they've only managed NL teams. Can you name those 2 managers? Give that some thought, and we'll get the answer coming up. Let's get it back to Jack and George, guys.
I think we both know that one, but we'll hang on for a second and try and figure that one out. A 1-1 ball game, and something the Pirates are quite familiar with. In their last 29 games, that's about 5 weeks worth of action. 20 of them have been decided by 1 or 2 runs.
Talks a lot about their bullpen, how good it is. And that's with the loss of Jason Gruden. Melanson has been very good.
First pitch strike here to Jordy Mercer. This is our Toyota Talk inning, so we'll try and answer some of your questions that you've texted in tonight. This is hit pretty well to center field, but Dexter's got a beat on it. And up first, let's see, is Clint Barmas in a pinch hitting role now?
Similar to that. I mean, he's going in defensively sometimes with the lead late in ball games because of his ability to play short, but now more in a backup role with Jordy Mercer's emergence as a hitter for Clint Hurdle. I saw Clint today doing well.
Yeah, he still has a home in the area. His lovely wife Summer and their 2 children. Wyatt's going to be starting school. That's hard to believe. I remember when Wyatt was born, he's starting kindergarten this fall. 1 ball, 1 strike on A.J. Burnett. You have to believe at some point, depending on family obligations and all that Clint Barmas will be coaching and possibly managing someday. He is a good student of the game.
Very good student of the ball game, and a guy that knows what he's doing. He would be a perfect guy to have as a first base coach infielder at the big league level.
Burnett is strikeout victim number 2 for Juan Nicasio. Final say when it comes to a rain delay. Well, before the game starts, it's in the hands of the home team. Once those umpires come on the field, it is up to them. Now they'll work with the home club in that regard, but that's the process. And a good call on the part of the Rockies to delay the start because it rained very hard here for a while. Starling Marte was called out on strikes last time up. As Nicasio works for another quick inning, and he's gotten ahead of the leadoff man for the Pirates.
Well, the last thing you want to do as a ball club is have that starter go down and air it out and get ready to start a game, and then have to shut it down and try to get it going again a couple hours later. Typically, you will lose that starter for that game, and then it's kind of a group effort out of the bullpen.
1-2 pitch. Juan thought he might have had strike 3.
And he may have. And the reason I say that, the hitter came forward as if he was looking for a slider. Now, you know, the thing is, as a pitcher, when you release the ball, a lot of times you will close your eyes, you know, as the ball comes in. And then I mean, it's a split second close, and your head comes forward, and you look up and you see a catcher's glove sitting there. You go, oh, it's a strike. Well, you don't realize he pulled it in maybe 2 or 3 inches and didn't get the call.
Full count, and he lost him. And that's the second time that Juan has done that tonight. He did that with Andrew McCutchen, and McCutchen came around to score the run. Who's the best in the NL right now? Well, what do you think there? Oh, who's the best center fielder in the NL right now?
Sitting there thinking. I mean, McCutchen's pretty good.
Yeah, I think you'd have to. I think he'd be the.
John Jay does a nice job for St. Louis,
but not all the overall numbers.
Huh.
I'm trying to quickly go.
Dougie,
around
I know
the
you
league.
got to have somebody you want to throw into the mix here. Chu in Cincinnati.
Now, I think I'd probably have to go with McCutchen right now.
I would too.
I mean, you're talking about a guy hitting .314. He's stolen 23 bases. He's knocked in 65. Plays outstanding defense. Neil Walker, switch hitters, grounded out twice.
I think Dexter would be in that mix, except for the struggles after the July 1st. Since the All-Star break, Dexter 160 with the 10 runs scored. Prior to that, 51 runs. The defense has never wavered.
Yeah, I'd even go back a little farther than that. I think Dexter's, the hand issue and then the wrist that evolved from it. There goes Marte, but a foul ball is going to bring him back.
Well, trying to play with a lot of injuries in your hands and swing the bat, particularly switch hitter where they're abused both sides up and down, it makes it hard to really go out and do the job you need to do.
I thought was interesting. We're talking about the hand injuries, and of course the one that's got Carlos Gonzalez on the disabled list right now, that sprained ligament. Talking with Keith Duggar the other day, he said some of it deals with the bat that Cargo uses and how he holds the bat. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Neil Walker. As a left-handed batter, that right hand is the bottom hand, and Cargo has the bottom 2 fingers, his ring finger and pinky finger, off the bat, and so that middle finger rests right on the knob of the bat, and that's where the potential issue comes from. And he has more of the real knob. Some of them just taper. He has a knob on it. So, but I mean, again, that's part of what makes him such a great hitter, that leverage that he has.
Another name thrown out there, Carlos Gomez of the Milwaukee Brewers, has had a good year.
Yeah, there's a good one. There goes Marte, but he'll have to come back again.
Want to know if women can come to fantasy camp? Absolutely. They can come. They have their own locker room that they dress in. The Harbor twins come all the time, or sisters, I should say. There's Tammy right there. Tara, I should say, is right here. She also plays on the USA Olympic softball team, so she's very good. Her dad is a veterinarian, plays first. Roger can really play, I'll put it that way. He's fun to watch. And then her sister Tammy also comes down. Yes, women can come to fantasy camp, and they have an absolute ball.
And time was called. It was very late. It looked like Walker got a bug or something. I was a little surprised it was granted by Field and Culbreth.
I always looked at if the hand's coming up and down, the legs in a forward motion, that you shouldn't call timeout. Now yet he called time. Most umpires will step out from behind the catcher and throw up all the hands to prevent a pitch or let them know not to throw the baseball.
That's another foul ball. Walker stays alive. Yeah, the great thing of fantasy camp, when you had that question, George, and you referenced it earlier, I mean, you have people in their 30s, maybe even some
23-year-olds.
Yeah. And then you'll have people in their 60s and sometimes even into their 70s.
79 years old was the oldest a year ago.
Got him, finally. Juan Nicasio stayed at it, and he got his man. Walker down on strikes. We are halfway through this one. The Rockies and the Pirates are deadlocked. Rockies are tied at 1. A.J. Burnett and Juan Nicasio battled last week in Pittsburgh. Burnett the winner in that one. Already an improvement for Juan Nicasio. He couldn't get out of the 5th inning in Pittsburgh, and he's allowed just the 1 run on 3 hits so far tonight. Top of the order for the Rockies. Dexter's been on both times, a walk and a single. He has a stolen base as well.
Started out 79-mile-an-hour curveball slash slurve that Burnett likes to throw.
One ball and 1 strike, and kind of to go along a little farther, George, with our discussions about the hand issues, and it certainly seems to have affected Dexter more from the left side. But again, it's part of the same thing as it is with Cargo, that right hand where Dexter had the problem. That's the bottom hand, the leverage hand of the swing.
Yeah, and then you get out front, you start to roll things over, and it starts to, like sticking it in a vise and twisting when you got bat speed at 80, 90 miles an hour coming through a zone. What guys really hate, trying to check swing and misses. You know, they like the resistance of the ball on the bat. It doesn't hurt nearly as bad as it does when you don't have any resistance.
Well, he's worked himself into a good count again versus Burnett. Just got the inside part of the plate, full count.
Trying to crowd Dexter, not allow him to get his hands extended. Wouldn't surprise me to see Burnett go to a curveball here. A down and in hook to try to get Dexter to swing at it. It was the curveball, slow roller, and be able to get Dex barely. Well, the dugout stores are here at Denver, located all throughout the metro. 303-832 team. If you're ready to head back to school, it's great baseball time in August, and it's also time for everybody to head back to school. The dugout stores have everything for both. So stop by today or call 303-832 team for the nearest store location to you.
Corey Dickerson, a couple of ground balls, reached on the first one on a fielder's choice. The outfield straight up with McCutchen. They have Marte, the left fielder, maybe a little bit towards the line. It's that big alley in left center, but with Marte and his speed, and likewise for McCutchen, much like the Rockies with Dexter and Cargo, they can cover that big gap pretty well. One to Dickerson. Trying to check his swing. Burnett has allowed only 8 home runs on the year as he works in inning number 135 on the season. Of course, the Pirates' home ballpark is very pitcher friendly, but what the Pirates pitching has done in terms of the home runs at home, that's unbelievable.
Well, what they've done with that, and a lot of it has been all the emphasis by Ray Search, the pitching coach for the Pirates. What they've wanted to do, the Pirates home runs allowed 58 on the road, 25 at home, what Jack's talking about. The fewest at home in Major League Baseball tonight.
Count will hold at 2-2 on Corey Dickerson.
You know, that scares me to death. It's those front row catches that people try to catch that ball and they dropped it and they went right down below.
Battle with Dickerson and Burnett. Burnett has not had a 1-2-3 inning yet. walk in the first inning. Rockies got their run in the second. Todd Helton led off with double number 581 in his career and scored on a 2-out single by Johnny Herrera. Fowler singled in the third inning. Rosario singled in the fourth. Swing and a miss. And that's strikeout number 6 for Burnett. He struck out 9 in the win at Pittsburgh. We thank all of you for texting in your questions here during the 5th inning Toyota Talk. If you want more answers to your questions, visit the Root Sports Facebook page at facebook.com/RootSportsRM. And that's where Hall of Famer Tracy Ringlesby will answer a bonus Toyota Talk question before the end of the game. Troy Tulowitzki, a strikeout victim his last time up. He said Burnett just sort of ambles along, and then you look and say, boy, we haven't seen much from the Rockies against him, but he's been doing that to a lot of people this year. He's ahead 2 strikes on Tulo. Be exciting here at the ballpark tomorrow as Rockies fans here in Denver will get to see Chad Bettis in person for the first time.
Yeah, that'd be nice for him. Go up against this Pirate ball club.
1-2 now to count on Tulowitzki.
Now, Tulowitzki in his career prior to the break has hit 276 and afterwards 322. This year, struggling on that last road trip, 261 right now. But that will change quickly.
Two outs here in the 5th. Strike 3 called. That is another called strikeout for Burnett, and he has 7 on the night. Rockies and Pirates deadlocked at 1 after 5. Or your local Dodge dealer today. By Honey Smoked Fish Company, a ready-to-eat, energizing superfood you can add to any dish that's healthy and delicious. And by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. Juan Nicasio, 83 pitches on the night, has gone toe-to-toe with A.J. Burnett. And we are deadlocked at 1. The guy who scored the Pirates run, Andrew McCutchen, leads off the 6th inning.
A big inning here for Nicasio. They've got the bullpen going for the Rockies right now. Lopez has started to warm up.
McCutchen walked on a 3-2 count, and he's ahead 2-0 here.
Yeah, missed badly with those first 2 pitches, up and in, low and away.
And with 1 out on a 3-2 pitch, Russell Martin doubled in McCutchen. Good pitch there. 2 balls and a strike. Back to even.
McCutchen putting up the majority of his numbers in their ballpark. That's the amazing thing. Home run wise and average wise. At home 362, out on the road 260. 102-point difference.
Yeah, that's significant. Michael Kadire will take a look, but the count stays 2-2. Corey Dickerson improving as a defender and likes to come in on the ball more than go back on it. He's pretty deep in left field, and a good pitch by Nicasio to punch out McCutchen.
A lot of times you could get away with a high slider, what Nicasio did there, because of the velocity of your fastball and then the surprise location of this pitch. It's not a good location, but the movement and because of where it finished, that late last little dip, a belt tie slider at Coors normally doesn't trick people. That one did because of the velocity and the changeup thrown on a 2-0 count.
4 strikeouts on the night for Nicasio now.
Now that was a really big strikeout.
Alvarez's foul ball will get into the crowd.
What I've noticed now, slider changeup, not a lot of fastball. So pitching a little bit backwards, which you can credit Rosario for that.
Well, and with guys like McCutchen and Alvarez, who are wonderful dead red hitters, you certainly have to be able to make them think something else.
Yeah, pitch a little backwards, then you can come with the heater and throw it by him. And that fastball wasn't a normal Nicasio fastball. It was at 90. But because of location and pitches prior to that, you get it by the hitter.
He shook off a sign and came back with a fastball but missed. 0-for-1 when you think about it, between the neck injury 2 years ago and the knee injury last year. I mean, at the big league level, this is uncharted territory. Up to almost 114 innings on the season.
Yeah, he's getting out there and again protected. 93 pitches in this game. A lot of young starters come over here. He's a workhorse at Modesto, Tulsa before he got the call here.
This one will be playable in foul ground. Nolan Arenado puts it away. If you have auto glass damage, my advice, call Safelite Auto Glass, America's vehicle glass experts, at 303-287-5000 or go to safelite.com. First pitch outside to Russell Martin. Martin, the man who knocked in the Pirates' run. He's had a single and a double tonight, and he's going to have another hit just beyond the reach of Arenado. Hit number 4 for the Pirates, and 3 belong to Russell Martin.
Very well pitched game and a well pitched, well thrown ball there by Nicasio. It just gets under the glove of Arenado. 2 outs. Don't panic on the 1 base hit. Go right at Jones, the left-hander.
Gotten Jones to fly out to Tulowitzki in short center field, and then flied out in the 4th inning to Michael Kadire in right. Short lead for Martin, but as George talked earlier, 9 stolen bases on the year in 13 tries.
You can't go to sleep on him. You let him get that walking lead, he'll take advantage of it. A lot like John Waltham used to with the Kansas City Royals.
Base stealing catchers, a rare breed. One quickly ahead, 2 strikes on Garrett Jones, trying to get his team in the dugout, deadlocked at 1. Juan's season high 101 pitches against the Dodgers on July 12th. This next pitch will be his 99th. Dexter on the run, can't get it, and Martin's going to score. Garrett Jones on a 2-strike pitch gets an RBI triple. 2-1 Pittsburgh. After 2 quick outs, the base hit by Martin and a 2-strike pitch that hurts.
Yeah, you're looking at the pitch, slider that stayed up. The one was a swing and miss on McCutchen. The left-hander got his hands out. Dexter shadowed a little bit to the left side of second base. Gave a great effort. Look at those strides by Dexter trying to get there, just out of the reach of Dexter Fowler. Recovers to get to the baseball. Now important to let this stop, and of course Nicasio hoping Dexter could get there. He's pulling hard for him, and then the ball just out of the reach of Fowler. Wanted to slam that glove down a little bit. That's the emotions Jack's talking about.
Tabata swings and misses to make it a 1-1 count. Well, Garrett Jones, we talked about it. They get good production out of that first base platoon. And Tabata is going to give him another run. Johnny Herrera got to it, but no chance to get the speedy Tabata. 3-1 Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you wonder if Walt may be thinking here, if you make the double switch, his pitch count's up 102. Lopez is ready to go with a runner on first and 2 outs. And Walt's out of the dugout. No double switch. He'll just go to the bullpen. The pitcher due up 7th for the Rockies.
So Juan Nicasio, perhaps a strike of getting out of the inning, has seen Pittsburgh score a pair. And as we take a break, the Pirates have a 3-1 advantage. We'll be back to Coors Field in a moment. Night, but as George and I were talking, 3 in a row with 2 outs here in the 6th inning, and it's put them behind 3-1. Wilton Lopez will now try and shut off the rest of this 6th.
The overall numbers, the earned run average jumped up. You look at a couple of outings, that's the reason behind that jump up that he has, and allowing his ERA to get above 4.5. See the whip at 151. Lopez on the year has inherited 27 base runners, 8 have scored.
1 ball, 1 strike on Jordy Mercer. Pirate shortstop, fielder's choice, and a fly to center. 3 straight hits with 2 outs produce a pair of runs here for Pittsburgh. And this one's hit pretty well to center field, but Dexter's going to have room on the track to end the inning. But the Pirates, as they have done so often this year, they've taken the lead.
Runs in the top half of the inning, and they lead it 3-1. Got to answer your AT&T trivia question. It has to do with managers in the NL, because Clint Hurdle's here. Recently won his 755th game, and when you look at current managers, active managers, there are 2 that only have NL team wins like Clint Hurdle, but with more of them. And those 2 are, and Jack and George, you know these guys. Dusty Baker's on the list, and also Bruce Bochy. Baker, he did it, of course, with the Giants, the Reds, and the Cubs. Reds got beat today. And Bochy with San Fran and San Diego. And he got another win today. All right, guys.
All right, good question, Mark. And indeed, the Giants won 3-2 over the Orioles, and the Reds lost 3-1 to the Padres. Michael Kadire, 0 for 2, has struck out twice, and this time a base hit to right field.
He didn't wait on the action to come to him. He went right to it. He got a ball away from him and just punched it to the right side. Todd helped with a double and a run scored, coming to plate now. Mike Shaw Subaru Super Bowl look at this pitch. Going to be a fastball. They're trying to work to that outside corner and sink to the outside corner. It just stayed up. Kadire, boy, just such a professional hitter. Took that ball to the right side.
Hit number 5 for the Rockies. George mentioned, Todd doubled and scored the Rockies' run back in the 2nd. The Pirates are 3rd in the National League in comeback wins, and of course that happens more than you would think. Not necessarily always late in games. Pitch high again to Todd. The Rockies had a 1-0 lead after 2 innings, but the Pirates, with the 2 here in the 6th, have claimed the lead, trying to do a come from behind effort for the 29th time this year.
We had 2 out base hits. I mean, they just come up with some big plays. Not a lot of things that just totally blow you away about their ball club. They have a couple of power guys and a tremendous back end of the bullpen. Rotation very, very good. They got some leadership. Todd Helton looking for a base hit here on a 2-1 count from AJ. He threw a slider down and in on him his first at bat, and that's where he jerked the double down the right field line.
Short lead for Kadire. 2-2 now on Todd. George talked about that terrific Pirates bullpen. When they have the lead after 6 innings, they're 49-2. They lead at the moment here in the 6th, 3-1. Another 2-2. Burnett has walked 2. Walked Dexter Fowler to start the game, and then intentionally walked Johnny Herrera in the 4th inning. He struck out 7 after striking out 9 Rockies in his complete game effort in Pittsburgh. And there's strikeout number 8 on an off-speed pitch.
Away from Todd. Todd trying to make something happen there. Be sure to check out the New Rockies Triple Play Pack. Pick any 3 games, including a September Fireworks Red Sox series, and get a free New Era Rockies cap with purchase. Go to Rockies.com to order yours today.
What's been impressive in that collection of strikeouts tonight for Burnett? Tulowitzki twice, Kadire twice, and now he's gotten Helton. Did he get enough of it? Not quite. McCutchen makes the grab. Kadire digging for 2, and he's just in there. A heads up by Michael. He read that McCutchen was not turned ready to throw as he caught that ball, and that was just enough to beat a good throw to second.
Yeah, backpedaling back on the ball. Now you got to redirect. You're not going to get the force behind the throw you need, but you had a very accurate throw and a heads up play by Kadire. Foot gets in right ahead of that tag coming from center field. Now that should give confidence to Arenado, though, who seems to rise with 2 outs hits and runners in scoring position.
2 ground ball outs tonight so far for Nolan. 3-1 Pirates here in the 6th. Waved at that curveball.
You got a veteran guy that's going to look at your at-bats in film and see exactly what you have. In other words, what does he hit early in counts with men in scoring position? And then he will pitch against that.
And he drives it to right center. Nolan Arenado comes through again. Kadire will score. Arenado into second with an RBI double.
The hitting of Nolan Arenado and the hustle of Michael Kadire make this a 3-2 game. Arenado 13 of his 37 RBIs now, make that 38 RBIs. Have come with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Great note by Doug on that.
Now, for a young man who is playing in his 93rd big league game, that's impressive.
Very impressive. Look at this pitch away from him, but he keeps everything down in the zone. Head, the legs, the body, and just drive the baseball and drives it into right center field. Arenado on the season 259 now. This base hit made it a 3-2 ball game, and Johnny with the pitcher in the on-deck circle and Outman warming up. They're electing to choose to Johnny, who had a base hit and drove in a run earlier.
Takes ball 1. Maybe they'll do the intentionally unintentional walk here, at least early. Pirates are going to get their bullpen active. 2-0 on Herrera. Rockies have Charlie Blackmon, DJ LeMahieu, Yorvi Torrealba, all available as pinch hitters. Outside 3-0. Yeah, if he's trying to get Herrera to bite, he is not. You see Blackmon with a bat in hand. Charlie Culberson also a guy available off the bench. And there's ball 4. And I just had that sense they were going to force the hand of the Rockies. Charlie Blackmon will get the call.
Blackmon is a pinch hitter this year at 3 for 11. That home run the other day with an RBI.
The Pirates get a pair of 2-out runs in the top of this 6th inning. The Rockies have gotten one back and have hopes of more with Charlie Blackmon. There's the left-hander Tony Watson throwing out in the Pirates pen. A little more practice swings for Blackmon. Now Charlie's ready. The Georgia Tech yellow jacket. That's driven to right center field. That's going to tie up the ball game. Arenado scores. Herrera to third on an RBI pinch double by Charlie Blackmon. The Rockies bounce right back and tie the game.
Blackmon's 4th pinch hit of the season against 12 at bats. And another RBI for Charlie on a first pitch swing on a slider, a pitch that Burnett has gone to pretty exclusively now, that curveball slash slider. Look at Blackmon go out, reach down and get this. It tells you his bat speed coming back. I mean, he just drove this ball into right center field. And now a big opportunity for Dexter Fowler in a 3-3 ball game.
Base hit here would score a pair. Dexter 1 for 2, a single, a walk, and a ground out, and nearly got hit on that pitch by Burnett. The Rockies, all 3 of their RBIs tonight have been with 2 outs. Two 2-0 now on Dexter.
AJ's pitch count at 97, not a big deal for him. He's been in the teens, 115, 120 pitches in a ball game this year. Although that left-hander warming up, you'd think you'd get Dickerson, and then you would probably see Walt counter with Culberson if they happen to walk Fowler. The Rockies now 3 for 10 with runners in scoring position after starting the game 1 for 7. Pittsburgh 1 for 4.
Good count for Fowler. Find an area, otherwise let it go. He found an area. Base hit to right field. Herrera scores. Blackmon scores. The Rockies lead it 5-3. Dexter Fowler with a big-time hit. All of this happening first with the hustle of Michael Kadire, and then with 2 outs, 3 hits and a walk.
3 hits and a walk, and on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo, another slider that stayed up. And Fowler drove this to right field, right out of the reach of Walker, and both runs come in to score.
4-run sixth inning is going to knock A.J. Burnett out of the game. The Pirates are going to make a double switch. But as Clint Hurdle goes to take the ball from his veteran right-hander, the Rockies have regained the advantage. 5-3 here. Rockies back into the lead, a 4-run 2-out rally as Josh Harrison will come into the game and play shortstop and bat ninth. He'll lead off in the 7th, and left-hander Tony Watson comes in to pitch.
Yeah, the left-hander 3-1. He's been one of those hard-nosed lefties out of the bullpen. 53 1/3 for Clint Hurdle, 15 holds. He needs to stop the bleeding. A.J. Burnett's last start against the Rockies at Coors Field yielded 5 runs also in that start. Tony Watson trying to prevent further damage.
Dickerson 0 for 3 on the night. He'll take about a 3/4 arm delivery by Watson with a breaking ball for a strike. It's that release point that's helped Watson be that effective against left-handers.
It sure is, with some velocity behind it.
And this will be a base hit. Little inside-out stroke. Dexter going to challenge at third and kicks the ball away. And he's going to score. Into third goes Dickerson. 6-3 Rockies. Pedro Alvarez had a chance to make the tag, and he might have gotten hurt, at least spiked, as Dexter Fowler slid in cleanly and caught the glove of Alvarez.
Right, so you're doing what you thought you're supposed to do as a base runner. Coming into it, Fowler, what a half inning he's had, driving in a couple of runs, and the hustle gets him into home plate. The Rockies got that 6th run across. Dickerson hustles all the way into third base. And prior to that, left-handers had hit 203 against Watson. Right-handers 203. He'd slammed the door completely. Here's that slicing line drive to left. Marte with the throw right on the money. Dexter slides in. The ball shoots up against the screen. He trots to the house. Dickerson sprints into third. He catches it. Dexter right on top of that foot. Right on top of the hand.
Yeah,
he's lucky he didn't get his hand broken.
Yep, and they're still looking at Alvarez's left hand and wrist. He'll be. I'm waiting for the official ruling. You'd think, because he did catch that ball, George, that he'd be charged with the error. Rockies not really of too much concern about who got charged with the error. They're going to be happy to have another run. And they're up 6-3, and Dickerson got all the way to third base. Now Troy Tulowitzki, and Troy has to back away. The 1-0 is skied to center. That will end the inning, but the Rockies with a 5-run 6th inning. All of them coming with 2 outs. Nolan Arenado's 2-out double. Charlie Blackmon with a double. A 2-run single, and then the Rockies manufacture another. Pedro Alvarez when he was stepped on by Dexter Fowler on the play at third base. Charlie Blackmon, who had the RBI pinch double, remains in the game in left field in that number 9 spot in the order. And in the 2-hole now will be the left-hander Josh Outman, who comes on to pitch here in the 7th.
Yeah, Josh Outman, devastating slider. We've seen it. It's helped the strikeout totals get very high very quickly. A 4.10 earned run average, 2-0 record, 41 2/3 innings.
You'll get Josh Harrison, who came on in the double switch. We had to check officially, and it was an error charged to Alvarez. All the runs charged to the starter. Bunt try, and that's a dandy, and no chance to get Harrison. Wide throw, but Johnny Herrera backing up keeps that from being a disastrous play. Oh, is that a perfect bunt by Josh Harrison?
It is, and you should have eaten the ball if you're Josh Outman and give up on it. You don't want to make that throw so far down the line. Johnny Herrera, he moved immediately when he went after that ball, and it's one of those, oh no, I've thrown it away. Oh, way to go, Johnny. You couldn't have placed this any better, rolled it out in front of the mound or up that third base line any better.
The Pirates get the leadoff man on, get back to the top of the order. Marte, who absolutely kills left-handed pitching. He takes strike 1. The numbers for Marte with the 4 hits last night, and 3 of those against left-handed pitching. Marte hitting .413 on the season, and that's the best in the National League against southpaws.
Big numbers against the southpaws. You hope that Josh has his good slider working to try to use as an equalizer against Marte.
Arenado about a step behind and moving forward at third. Good pitch there, 0-2.
Yeah, hard slider right there at 79 and had great movement on it.
That allows Nolan to back up at third. Harrison 2 for 2 in steals. And just make sure he is aware over there. Pirates on the year, 81 stolen bases. They've been caught 29 times. The Rockies have 88 stolen bases. Trying to check his swing. It hit him.
Well, 2 big bats right now for Clint Hurdle, and they got to be thinking and scuffling a little bit right now because of Alvarez the slide. Now Marte, as he went to throw his hands at that fastball rode up and in and caught him right on the knuckle.
It looks like it might even be higher up, closer to his wrist, George. Trying to work inside. Outman's pitch just too far in, and as George, as you said, he likes to throw his hands at the ball, aggressive to the inside part of the plate.
Exactly what he did. He caught it right on the back side of the hand. Did not get any of the bat.
And with the Rockies enjoying a 3-run lead, the Pirates get the first 2 men on with a perfectly placed bunt, and now the hit batsman Walt Weiss went out and talked with Field and Culbreth as to whether or not it caught the bottom, the knob of the bat. And watching it live, George, from our vantage point up here, it was hard to tell, but that replay showed it got the hand and not the bat.
I guess he'll take it on to first base now as he's gingerly trying to take those gloves off. That trainer trying to get some answers. You want to stay in the ball game or not? That ball glancing off of the back of his hand. A late reaction by him.
And now he isn't going to stay in the game.
Pretty sizable knot on the outside of that. Presley will come into the ball game and will likely go to left field.
So Alex Presley, good speed, not anywhere near Marte's speed, however. He's the pinch runner, and right out of the gate here for Josh Outman. The potential tying runs already at the plate. Neil Walker, switch hitter, and he is the opposite of Marte. He has had issues against left-handed pitching this year, hitting under 200 when he's hitting 257 overall. This will get into the seats.
Matt Belisle starting to fire down in the Rockies bullpen.
You know, outside of Alvarez, well, you got Garrett Jones as well. But it might be as much situation as it is matchup if Belisle comes into the game. Right back to Outman, knocks it down, throws to second. Good play by Tulo and got the double play.
Yeah.
Oh, what a play by Troy Tulowitzki.
Clint's going to argue on this one.
Clint's going to tell Adrian Johnson that Tulo wasn't on the bag. Harrison moved to third, and think, with that purpose in mind. As he gets ejected, that has happened a few times already this year. So now, he's going to get his money's worth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Phil and Culbreth, the crew chief, came from all the way behind home plate out to second base to end the discussion. Now you get to be the umpire.
Get right back at him, foul out of the glove. He's going to give a little bit of high feed to Tulowitzki. They're looking at all the extension to see what happened here. And it looked like from that angle the toe's on the bag.
Yeah, it wasn't there long, but it doesn't have to be there long. Any contact with the bag, and
see, that angle's the best for me. I mean, Tulo's still on the bag, pushing up to go catch the high throw.
Jimmy Wright out to talk with Josh Outman. You've got Andrew McCutchen here,
and Alvarez right behind the left-hander. McCutchen.
The dilemma, though, of course, if you pitch around McCutchen, you then get the potential tying run back to the plate again.
And one swing can hurt you in that respect. McCutchen with nobody out, or nobody, 0 or 1 outs, 316 with runners in scoring position, 2 outs, 237. Quite a difference.
That's the 4th time that Clint Hurdle has gotten an early exit outside to McCutchen.
Well, I found it interesting, and you mentioned it, but I found it pretty interesting that, right from this pitch from Josh, that the home plate umpire went all the way out to help Adrian Johnson, that Bill Welke did not make a move from first, and nor did Brian Nora from third.
Field and Culbreth is the crew chief. That might have had something to do with it, but I'm not in disagreement with you there, partner.
Go try to save one of the guys.
2-1 the count now on McCutchen. Two and two. Good changeup.
Back-to-back changeups from Josh Outman.
McCutchen struck out last time up on a kind of a backup slider that was up by Nicasio. A little different here with a lefty where he gets a better look at it. And it's hit right back to Outman. Over to first, and he gets out of a big jam. The big crowd rises for the stretch. Tulo's stretch keeps the Rockies' lead at 3. Lexus, where luxury has a new address, now open in Greenwood Village, in an eventful 6th inning as the Pirates get a Garrett Jones triple and a Jose Tabata infield hit for a 3-1 lead. But with 2 outs, Nolan Arenado, an RBI double to make it 3-2. After Johnny Herrera was walked, it was a double by the pinch hitter Charlie Blackmon to tie the game. Dexter Fowler's 2-run single put the Rockies up 2, and an error allowed them to add 1 more on this play off the swing of Corey Dickerson. 6-3 Rockies here in the bottom of the 7th with Michael Kadire facing the left-hander Tony Watson. A 1-1 count on him. Presley, who came into the game after Marte left, hit by a pitch, is out in the left field. Michael started the rally in the 6th inning with a base hit. Watson gave up the hit to Corey Dickerson. 2-2 now on Kadire, and was able to get Troy Tulowitzki to fly out to center field. Rockies trying to take 2 straight from the team that walked in with the best winning percentage in the National League, actually in all of baseball at the start of this series. Full count now on Kadire.
I know their manager and their reserve shortstop, Clint Barmas, knows magic can happen at any time in Loda. Yesterday, the Rockies pounded out 10 runs. Today, they've thrown 6 on the board against 2 of their top pitchers.
Kadire with another 3-2 pitch from Watson. And Jones will grab that one. He looked down and said, whoa, I better hustle. Who wants tacos? Well, fans, if you'd like to receive text message alerts when the Rockies score 7 or more runs for the Rockies Taco Special, text keyword taco to 720-720. Message and data rates may apply, and when the Rockies score 7 or more runs, Taco Bell and Root Sports together will donate $250 to the Colorado I Have a Dream Foundation. Todd Hilton to flare out into short left center, and that's Josh Harrison on the grab. I know he's obviously done it before, George. This is the first time I've seen Harrison, whether it's been in a Rockies-Pirates game or seeing the Pirates on TV, to see him at shortstop.
Yeah, he hadn't played short much, so I wonder if something's wrong with Clint.
So 2 outs for Watson.
With Clint Hurt, not Clint Hurdle, but Clint Barnes. Yeah.
Aline Rosario a single in 3 tries tonight. Of course, Harrison was the guy who got the final out of the 8th inning pitching for the Pirates last night. One ball, 1 strike on Wallin. His single came back in the 4th inning. He's also grounded to third and flying to center. Clint Hurdle told us today that after Harrison got that out in the 8th inning, Garrett Jones in the dugout said, come on, let's get 10, get him a win.
Clint could find humor in a defeat last night.
Backhanded stop by Alvarez, but no chance, and the throw gets away. There's another one that should have been eaten, and that's going to be error number 23 on Pedro Alvarez this year.
Tell you what, heads up too. I want to give Latch a little pat on the back here. He had a perfect read on that ball coming out of the hand of Alvarez, and about I guess Rosario 8 or 9 feet from the bag at first base. He's pointing towards second, knowing this ball's going to be offline from the get-go. And if that ball's not going to be caught, Latch is pointing the whole time as he's coming up the line. Rosario chugs into second base.
Second error in as many innings for Pedro Alvarez. The Rockies have their 2-out man again, and Nolan Arenado at the plate. Nolan's 2-run double started the rally scoring-wise last inning. Took a big rip there.
Base hits in 17 of the last 19, 23 of 67, a 343 clip, and that's why the average hasn't gone down, but it's maintained itself at right around that 260 mark.
It's down 2 strikes now.
The impressive thing to me was that out of the 38 RBIs, what was it, Doug? You told me 17 or something like that with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. You talk about pressure at bats and coming through for you. That's huge.
Trying to expand a 3-run lead. This will turn foul. Rockies have Matt Belisle up in the bullpen. He was up when things looked a little dicey in the 7th. And so he's pretty much ready to go to pitch the 8th. Hits last night, 10 tonight for the Rockies.
If you don't already get the Hot Rocks emails, you're missing out on the best tickets deals around. The only way to get the emails is to become a Rockies registered user. So go to ColoradoRockies.com and register today.
Trying to take advantage of the air and add to their lead. This one
trying to get into boot.
Yeah,
we've had like 5 or 6 tonight.
All around us, one to the right of us, and one off the facing of the upper deck just over our heads. You still have those cat-like reflexes.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm not worried
You're
about
covered.
you.
Don't worry about it. I'll pull you under the table with me.
And that, did it hit him? No, he just got out of the way of that back foot slider. 1-2. The 1 hour and 48-minute rain delay did not dissuade this crowd from having high hopes for their hometown 9, and the Rockies have the lead here in the 7th. And he got him with that off-speed pitch. So Watson strikes out Nolan Arenado, and will head to the 8th with the Rockies up 3. The Rockies up 6-3 moving into the 8th inning. Brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. In the big play of that 7th inning, Troy Tulowitzki, like Baryshnikov at second base, with the toe tap and the throw to first for a double play when the Pirates looked like they had a big rally brewing. That play also led ultimately to the ejection of Pirates manager Clint Hurdle. Matt Belisle comes on here to work for the Rockies in the 8th inning. Matt making his 52nd appearance. You see the 5-5 record and an ERA of 4.31. Pedro Alvarez will be the first hitter, and Alvarez is looking for his first hit on the night. To center field, to right field, and a foul out to the third baseman. All in the air by Alvarez. He'll make the upper deck to the left, 1-1. Matt Belisle in the top 10 in the National League in holds. He has 15. That's best on the club. 2-1 the count. And for those of you who don't know that term, you come in with the lead, and when you exit, the team still has the lead.
Yeah, and again, it can happen in the 6th, 7th, 8th innings.
2-2 now on Alvarez.
Elevated fastball at 90, but above the hands. A good location by Belisle.
This should be an easy chance for Johnny Herrera. Ground ball out number 1 here in the 8th. What's next? Brought to you by CenturyLink. Young Jeff Locke, the left-hander, will pitch for the Pirates, and you Rockies fans, you should be real interested in watching Chad Bettis make his Coors Field debut. Don't let that 6.30 ERA sway you. That young man's got a lot of potential. First pitch strike from Matt Belisle to Russell Martin. He's been the best part of the Pirates offense tonight, with 3 hits, an RBI, and a run scored. Rockies up 1-0, tied at 1, down 3-1, and then the 2-out 5-run rally in the 6th inning to take the 6-3 advantage they enjoy here in the 8th. Todd far to his right. Good lead, and that's out number 2. All that was a bootleg right, and then the throwback pass to the bubble screen wide receiver.
The tight end collapsed on him. And when he did, when the defensive end collapsed on him, he thought, I better get rid of this thing, and I'm going to just square up. I'll take the hit, flip it out to my guy running up the sidelines, and get a touchdown.
There you go. 2 outs here in the Pirate 8th. Garrett Jones, an RBI triple that at the time gave the Pirates a 2-1 lead in the 6th inning. Then he scored on an infield hit from Tabata. When Matt Belisle has thrown scoreless innings in his last 3 efforts. And this will be just the 2nd hit he has allowed, as Jones will go the opposite way for a 2-out double. So Garrett Jones gets his 2nd extra base hit of the night. His 23rd double, 23 doubles, 2 triples, and 10 homers. That's a pretty good amount of extra base hits.
He does a good job slicing that ball off of Belisle to left field. Pirates 1 for 6 now with runners in scoring position in this ball game. The Rockies, by the way, 4 of 13.
Tabata with one of those. It was his infield hit that outscored Garrett Jones. Righty against righty, and the 1-0 is hit up the middle again like his other hit. This time Herrera gets him. And the double does no damage. Good play by the Bean. Middle of 8. Rockies remain on top by 3 as we get one more look at the professional ball catcher, Johnny Herrera. Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We want to hear from you as the Rockies continue this 2013 season. Get online and collect with us, connect with us. Well, you can collect with us too, but connect with us now. And everybody's working hard. Gee, what did we do before cell phones?
Didn't talk a whole lot. Weren't on the phone much.
We talked face to face a lot, Mark. Yeah.
If you called on the phone at the house, you had a party line, and the lady down the road in the country where I lived would say, I got to make a call. You got to get off. Got to hang up.
Yeah. Gabby Sanchez comes into the game in a double switch to play first base. He'll lead off the top of the 9th for the Pirates, and Justin Wilson's the new pitcher.
Wilson's only has 10 holes on the season, I should say, a 6-1 record. He's been very good out of their bullpen, a 2.14 run average, the whip outstanding. They got Herrera switch hitter, then he's going to get Charlie Blackmon, and then the switch hitting Dexter Fowler.
Herrera with an RBI single and 2 walks, as well as a run scored, and some good defense to end the top of the 8th inning.
Dexter Fowler will be in the hole with Rex Brothers warming up in the Rockies bullpen.
Johnny's numbers much better against right-handed pitching. The Pirates have used 2 of their lefties out of the bullpen. And the Rockies will have their lefty closer getting ready. 1-2 on Herrera. Rex under the watchful eye of bullpen coach Bo McLaughlin. This Pirates bullpen, we've talked about their good results this year. Another foul ball by Herrera, and it's not like it was a bullpen where you just say, oh yeah, I know that guy, or I know that guy. I mean, Mark Melanson's had some success. We know Jason Grilli, but a lot of guys really showing up well for the first time when it matters.
It has, and this is one of those kids doing just that.
Six and one. That shows you they've had a number of times. You see Mark Melanson right in the middle there. The
Greeley's out there hanging out. He was playing
Boulder.
catch today.
Yeah. A nice long interview with Jason Greeley for the Rockies radio side tomorrow. Count holds at 2-2 on Johnny Herrera. Yours truly, Jack Corrigan, glad to be here tonight, filling in for Drew Goodman with George Frazier. We always have fun together, Georgie.
Whether it's playing golf or broadcasting a baseball game.
Full count on Herrera. And not many people would know, but it's a rather unique pairing of Papa and Popo.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The grandkids race is on. It's 5-1 in the Frazier family.
Yeah, you have the lead right now.
We started earlier.
And ball four. Good at bat by Johnny Herrera. If you've got auto glass damage, call Safelite Auto Glass. They're America's vehicle glass experts. They're number 303-287-5000 or online at safelite.com. Did Watson hurt himself? As you see Charlie Blackmon with the pinch hit double to tie up the ball game. And then Charlie would go on to score the go-ahead run on the hit by Dexter Fowler. Ray Searage, the pitching coach, talking with Wilson.
They can't afford any more injuries.
This is, as we said, a real tough stretch for the Pirates. They have a very favorable September schedule. It's getting through this 13 out of 16 on the road, and then 6 games in about a 10-day period with the Cardinals at the end of August into September. So the 8-pitch at bat to draw a walk by Herrera. Charlie with the double to right center to tie the game. And he'll bunt it towards Alvarez. The only play is to first in time. Herrera moves to second, well executed by Blackmon. Dexter Fowler having a good night tonight. He's been on base 3 different times. He's scored a run and he's knocked into he'll switch around, as you can see, to the right side. He's had good numbers against left-handed pitchers this year. Coming into this at bat for Fowler. He's hitting .330 from the right side. A fair sample size, 106 at bats. 5 doubles, a triple, a couple of his 12 homers. Herrera bluffed like he was going, and the ball fouled out of play.
Well, the first 9 days of August a little rough on Dexter, 2 for 21, but tonight 2 hits, 2 very big hits. And you talked about it early. He can come out of it one of those 2 for 20 slumps in a hurry and just break out and just go on a tear for 7, 8, 10 days.
Throw out to second, close. Charlie Culberson has come out on deck. He'll pinch hit for Matt Belisle. jammed him. Sanchez for the second out. Good pitch by Wilson there.
Ride it in on the hands. Try to put pressure to it if you can. That's exactly what he did. Don't let him extend.
Charlie Culberson will try and continue this recent run of pinch hitting success for the Rockies. Right-handed hitting Georgian. Charlie is 3 for 21 in a Rockies uniform. He has an RBI, looking for his first extra base hit as a Rocky. One strike, the count on Culberson. Rockies trying to join 3 other of the teams in the National League West in the winner's circle. Padres beat the Reds in Cincinnati. Giants held on and beat Baltimore 3-2, and the Dodgers won again. There goes Herrera, swing and a miss, no throw, and another stolen base. Third of the season for Herrera.
Third of the night for the Rockies.
Even with the throw out there to second, Pirates pitching has not paid a lot of attention to those runners at second base tonight. That foul ball keeps the at bat alive for Culberson. Diamondbacks lost at home this evening. Mets beat them 4-1. Zach Wheeler with another win for the Mets. Boy, that Wheeler and Harvey, that might be quite a duo for New York.
Pretty good pair there, isn't it? They got a jam shot, got in the hands on Culberson. Alvarez will make a play. We'll go to the 9th with the lead.
A 3-run lead, so it's a save situation for Rex Brothers as he'll come on in the 9th. 6-3 Rockies. Only at Southwest.com. And by Ram Trucks. Guts, Glory, Ram. 6-3, the Rockies have the lead. And let's get a preview on the Toyota postgame show with Jenny Kavnar.
Thanks so much, Jack. Coming up on the Toyota postgame show, we got a lot of offense to talk about from the 6th inning. We're going to start with Charlie Shuck Nasty Blackman. He was sure clutch in his pinch hit. He got things all tied up, and then it was the Rolodex. Dexter Fowler kept that lineup rolling. 2 RBIs for him. Nice offensive showing there in the 6th inning. And, of course, we'll get you inside the clubhouse. But I got to ask you guys, our producer, Justin Argo, perhaps a few years younger than me, not by much, though, did not know what a Rolodex was. Are you kidding me?
Come on.
Wow. I'm serious.
Come on.
Wow. I mean, technology age right there. Just a few years behind me, just skipped them. Can't believe it, right? I was disappointed. I had to throw him under the bus. I can't believe it. I just show him a Google image of it. Just so you know.
What's a Rolodex?
I know exactly what it is. Come on, George. You used them all the time, right?
Yeah, still do. What are you talking about?
Of course.
It's right next to his rotary dial phone.
That's exactly right. Right
in Oklahoma.
Looks good in the double wide.
Rex Brothers trying to get another save and a second straight Rockies win. And very good numbers for the young man out of Tennessee.
8 out of 9 in save opportunities so far for Rex Brothers. Has held the fort very well for the absence of Rafael Betancourt. It's never easy. You got Sanchez from the right side. It's interesting in conversations a lot of times with closers versus guys that are setup guys. Closers want strikeouts. Setup guys want quick outs. So one day with Rex at breakfast, I said, what's wrong with quick outs in the ninth?
That's exactly right.
Just throw good pitches, get the ball on the ground, and get out of there. Don't think about strikeouts.
He's behind 2 balls and a strike as sometimes the first batter alignment going. That's just foul. Ron O'Nora trying to read it and get out of the way at the same time, the third base umpire.
Yeah, did that ball go between his legs?
I think so.
I mean, it starts out foul, foul, whoop. Better get better ups than that next time.
Ryan's got a little issue with his left knee anyway, so that was a challenge. But he avoided it. 2-2 the count now on Sanchez. And I said Rex, sometimes that first batter, whether he's a setup guy or the closer, it's that
first batter faced.
Yeah.
One of those big ones, particularly when you're in a 1-run game, but 3-run games doesn't make it any difference. First batter efficiency 66%. For the closer, you'd like it to see it in the high 70s, low 80s.
And he walks the leadoff man here, so Sanchez is aboard. For Rex, he worked in last night's game, and it was the first time he had worked in a week. You know, that combination of not overworking a guy out of the pen, and then when your team is struggling and you're the closer and not getting work.
You don't get to play much. They keep you in the house. You don't get to go out for recess.
Harrison, a bunt base hit his first time up, and here's another one too tall from Rex. 3 walks by Rockies pitching tonight. Sanchez average speed. There's a strike to even the count. Outfield a little bit towards the right side. 1-2 now on Harrison. Batting for just the 44th time. He's been up and down a little bit, and he's a role player for the Pirates. A 1-2. That slider, he hadn't been able to finish it yet.
Nope, trying to get way up on top of it, just drive it to that downward corner of the plate.
Got a left-handed batter in Presley on deck. Michael Kadire will take a look, but no chance. Cubs helped out the Pirates again tonight as they beat the Cardinals in St. Louis. Pirates will play 3 with the Cards in St. Louis Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week. Two hit the center field. Dexter Fowler's got room. And back to first goes Sanchez. 1 out in the Pittsburgh ninth. A game that's just passing the 3-hour mark, and then a 2-hour delay nearly at the start. 1:48 because of storms in the area. Some of the big crowd has departed. An excellent crowd this evening. 40,728 the attendance. Here's Presley. He came on as a pinch runner when Marte had to leave the game after being hit by a pitch by Outman in the 7th. Just 66 at bats for Presley, who's been up and down. Good block on that pitch in the dirt. 1-1.
Yeah, just let the local fans here in Denver and the surrounding states know Colorado Springs swept a doubleheader away from Nashville today. Rob Scahill picked up the win in the second game. He goes to 4-1. Chris Volstad 6-4 wins the first ball game.
6-3 here, 1 on 1 out, and up the middle. Tulo can't get it. And it goes off the glove. That will allow Sanchez to get to third. And the Pirates, as they have done this year, are not going to go quietly. Troy, with a good effort, thought he was going to come up with it and just couldn't knock it down.
It looks like Rex Brothers may have thought he had a play. He just made a swipe at it. That ball was hit hard. Tulowitzki couldn't believe it wasn't in the glove. He dove for it. Thought he had it there. It went right over his thumb. Watch his reaction right here. Goes to get the ball. Like, are you kidding me? I thought that had that in the center of my glove.
So Presley gets the hit to push Sanchez to third, and now Neil Walker, who hit into that double play in the 7th inning that got Clint Hurdle ejected from the game, will single to left field. And it's a 6-4 game as Sanchez scores on the third, make it the second hit of the inning, and the third base runner. Now the tying runs are on for Andrew McCutchen.
Inside heater at 93 miles an hour down into the corner and just hit very hard past Arenado where a play could not be made. Walt Weiss going to jog out to the mound to have a conversation with his young pitcher.
The Pirates are a team, as we said, among the league leaders in comeback wins. They're hard to put away. Look at that, 14 wins in their final at bat. They obviously can't do a walk-off win here. And how about the 18 wins when tied or trailing after 7 innings? That's
huge.
How they've gotten to the mark they have at 70 wins and just 45 losses. And now a very dangerous hitter. That's Jeff Bannister, the bench coach, who's the manager at the moment, the acting manager with Clint Hurdle ejected. McCutchen has walked and scored on the night. He's 0 for 3 overall.
And we mentioned the batting average 110 points less what it is at home and what it is on the road. It's going to be tough to turn a double play. You just think out right now because McCutchen can fly. You got a left-handed hitting Alvarez in the on-deck circle.
2 on, 1 out. 1 ball and 1 strike on McCutchen.
And a cross-up on Rosario. He had to be looking for a slider right there and about bit him. Watch his reaction on this when the ball is caught by Rosario. I mean, he's thinking slider, step back 2 steps.
Johnny Herrera was out to join in on the conference. He'll go back to his spot near second base. Rex got a ground ball from Presley, but hit just too hard, and that got the runner to third. Presley now at second after the hit by Walker, and the count grows to 2-1 on McCutchen. You've got a left-handed batter in Alvarez on deck. Tension high here at the ballpark. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball that had McCutchen out in front.
And McCutchen thinking one thing, send this ball into the seats, because he's trying to win it with one swing. Rex with a filthy slider. No shot at hitting that.
Two balls, two strikes. Just got a piece of that slider. Just in case for the Pirates, Morris and Melanson have started throwing. Full count. 3 straight sliders. So what do you do now?
Well, right back to it again, make him hit it. Such a good fastball hitter, and he's hit a clip of 378 versus left-handers. Go with your best pitch here.
Runners hold, the 3-2 got him. Indeed, threw the breaking ball, and McCutchen might have swung it ball 4.
I think he was swinging it no matter where the pitch was. I think Andrew McCutchen was going to swing the bat, because this is not a perfect slider thrown by Rex Brothers. It's out of the strike zone. He wanted to bury it on that back foot. It's nasty, but not where Rex would want it if you ask him. Strikeout's a strikeout. Rockies 2-run lead.
And 1 out to go. Pedro Alvarez 0 for 4 tonight. 3 outs in the air, and in the 8th inning against Belisle, he grounded to second. Now facing the left-hander Brothers here with 2 outs in the 9th. Strike 1 call. And a series of sliders, and he gets ahead with the hook there. Missed with that one inside. A long look. Strike 2 call. Fastball this time on the inside part of the plate.
Yeah, 93 miles an hour. He got after it. That was nice. Got him thinking about, all right, it's going to be a slider. No, it's not either.
Looking for one more. The 1-2. Got him! And that's the ball game. Another nasty pitch in the dirt. A couple of strikeouts with the tying runs on base. Oh, what an effort by Rex Brothers. He was teetering and came back and got it done.
And that's the key. Make sure you get it done. He threw it where it couldn't be hit. Alvarez's frustration, but you got the excitement on the other side of that of Willeen Rosario on that with the tag and the fist pump by Brothers. You won't see it often, but he fought out of that thing to get this 9th save out of 10 opportunities.
And the Rockies make it 2 in a row over the Pittsburgh Pirates. Here's tonight's Jimmy John's freaky fast delivery of the game, brought to you by Jimmy John's. Dexter Fowler provides it. With the game tied after the Rockies mounted this 2-out rally, Dexter delivers a 2-run single that put the Rockies ahead to stay. Visit JimmyJohns.com to find a location near you. So a nice win again for the Rockies on this homestand. They get the first 2. Let's head off to Jenny Cavnar and the Toyota postgame show.
Thanks very much, Jack. You know, the Rockies, they let the Pirates get back in this one tonight, but Rex Brothers closed the door. We got a happy crowd going on out here in center field. We hope to keep the party going for you during the Toyota postgame show. Plenty of offense to talk about as the Rockies beat the Pirates. That means they win a big series. 6-4 the final, a Toyota postgame show.